Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero and we are back again talking about Blue Beetle's early box office. Predictions are a complete and utter disaster for WBD CEO David Zaslav, James Gunn, and their DC Universe. This comes to us from Bounding into Comics. Early box office projections are here for the upcoming Blue Beetle film starring the kid who plays Miguel in Cobra Kai, because I don't know how to pronounce that name. Great show. I feel really bad for him. He's not really going to make too much money from this film if it doesn't make any money. And they look to be utter nightmare fuel for Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav, James Gunn, Peter Safran, and their DC Universe. Box Office Pro predicts the film will only bring in between $12 million and $17 million in its opening domestic weekend. The outlet further notes the film will only gross between $27 million and $55 million in its entire theatrical run. That is absolutely disastrous for James Gunn's DC Universe. To put this in context, The Flash had an opening weekend of $55 million, which is what they predict will be the Blue Beetle's entire domestic run. $55 million domestically. It's gone on to gross $107.1 million domestically, with its time in theaters quickly coming to an end. Shazam! Fury of the Gods had a domestic opening weekend of $30.1 million. The film ended its domestic run at $57.6 million. Black Adam, now a seemingly bright spot despite still being a financial failure, had a domestic opening weekend of $67 million and went on to gross $168.1 million. So essentially 3 flops and another one seems to be coming up as well with Blue Beetle. Not only does it look like Blue Beetle will vastly underperform the last 3 DC films, it's likely to lose a significant amount of money if these predictions hold true. The Wrap reports the film has an estimated budget of $120 million. In order for the film to break even, it would need to make at least $300 million globally. With a $55 million domestic run, that means it needs to bring in at least $245 million internationally. The Flash only took in $160.4 million internationally. Shazam! Fury of the Gods capped out at $74.5 million internationally, and Black Adam only did $223.1 million. The film's financials have become a barometer for the success of James Gunn's upcoming DC Universe, due to his own comments that the character of Blue Beetle is the first character to be part of the universe he and Peter Safran are attempting to shepherd into existence. Gunn told Michael Rosenbaum on his YouTube show, quote, "The first DCU character for sure is Blue Beetle, and the first full DCU movie is Superman." When he announced his DCU slate at the end of January, Gunn said, and then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who is a marvelous part of the DCU. However, when he got to Superman Legacy, he said, quote, "The big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Following these comments by Gunn, Blue Beetle director Angel Manuel Soto told Total Film via Games Radar, "We are part of the universe. We are part of the world. We are part of the plans that they have been creating for the future installments of the DCU. Well, if your movie makes no money, there's no future installments." He elaborated, "But we are not tied to all the films from the past. That's why they had the Flashpoint film, essentially, to erase all the previous lore. Yes, our movie lives in the world where superheroes exist, but that doesn't mean that a certain event or certain alliance or certain things from the past dictate where our film is going." Soto also teased he has plans to turn Blue Beetle into a trilogy and noted this first film is the first act in his hoped-for saga. He explained, quote, "Our first movie, the way we wanted to do it, was always with the mentality that we wanted to do 2 more at least, and taking the traditional 3-act structure of a story, we wanted our first movie to practically be the first act of a saga." As for why these box office predictions are so low, Box Office Pro first notes what they believe are the film's positives. Appeal to Latinx, no one uses that, please stop. Families could be notable, particularly with the back half of the summer and early fall seeing a relative lack of youth-friendly content hitting the big screen. They also tout the DC brand, saying it has a modest strength of its own. As for the film's negatives, they note, quote, "Audiences have become increasingly selective about which superhero films they spend money on in theaters." Yes, because a lot of them recently have been absolute garbage. And competition from mid to late in the summer family-friendly holdovers like TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, which is going to be garbage, and Haunted Mansion, plus action films like Meg 2 and Gran Turismo. I don't think anyone is seeing Gran Turismo. I'm pretty sure gamers would rather play Gran Turismo, even though that game is garbage too. Could diminish potential in the waning days of summer. Unsurprisingly, the outlet leaves out the first trailer sees George Lopez's character for describing Batman as a fascist, which has turned a lot of people off to this movie. and the fact that Angel Manuel Soto decided to antagonize fans who did not like that being in the movie. It also does not include director Angel Manuel Soto's comments about Donald Trump and his wish for him to be deleted. Soto also believes Puerto Rico is a slave colony. It is not. This is the Blue Beetle director. Check this out. Here's what he said. The film is also being heavily marketed with identity politics. Soto confirmed that the movie features an illegal immigration allegory, explaining to movie maker, quote, "There is a history that exists before an ICE raid. A history that includes traveling miles and danger, working hard, becoming a family, creating memories, and thinking that everything is going to be okay. But all of a sudden, everything that you have fought for, everything that you have worked for, everything that you have built is now burning. I needed the depiction to be triggering because it's the experience of many, I guess. This allegory is likely to have a racial component as well. Susan Sarandon, who plays Victoria Cord in the movie, described her character as the representative of the, quote, white military-industrial complex. She told Jimmy Fallon, quote, "What's famous about Blue Beetle is it's the first Latino hero that has his own movie. It really doesn't matter. If the movie sucks, who gives a shit if the character's Latino? Even better, all the Mexican, because his family's Mexican, all the actors are Mexican, and it's in Spanish, so it's subtitled. Again, it does not matter if you put the race at the forefront of the film. If the film's story and action sucks, the movie sucks." This is the problem Hollywood is having, that they think everyone gives a shit about the race of the characters. For the most part, people do not care. And yet they continue to do the exact same thing that people hate that they do. Just talk about the simple fact that the race is involved. No one cares. She then shared details about her character Victoria Cord. "I'm, of course, the bad guy. I'm the white military-industrial complex. So I had a fabulous time because there's nothing better than being bad." The actor who plays Miguel also informed Empire the goal was to create a movie for a young me and a young Angel Manuel Soto, the film's director, that said, "Hey man, someone who looks like you or comes from a similar background can be a superhero." Well, again, most people don't care about the race of a character. Most times people can relate to a character that doesn't look like them. I like Spawn as a character. He's not white. He's a black character. I didn't care that he was black. I cared that he was cool as shit. He added, "The second thing was to open more doors for people like us. As fun as it is to get into the superhero world where everything is dialed up to 110%, it's the characters that I've mostly related to." Okay. Interestingly, Soto appears to have understood that the inclusion of calling Batman a fascist and then lampooning possible moviegoers was a massive error. He recently begged potential viewers to give the film a chance while speaking with Movie Maker. Quote, "We always wanted to have fun with the way Rudy talks about other superheroes. You could have just had it in the film rather than putting it in the trailer. That would have worked better. And also, Batman is not that thing that you keep calling him." He continued, "So to the people who got mad at it, give us a chance. It's too late. We're just trying to have fun with the characters that we love. You clearly don't love this character, and everybody in our movie loves Batman and Superman and Flash. I highly doubt it. And of course we have criticisms about all of them, as we all should," Soto added, "but that doesn't mean that we hate Batman. We love Batman. If you loved Batman, you wouldn't have inserted this ridiculous line into this movie. And put it in your marketing, for that matter." The film star also shared his thoughts on the criticism of Lopez's character describing Batman as fascist. F that. He elaborated, "Maybe Jamie and the audience don't agree with Rudy, but you're allowed to have your opinion. That's okay. It's literally not an opinion of the character. It's not really something that is shown with the character." He then insinuated the line was included to rile up viewers, which is something you should never do that turns people off to watching your film. If you felt some type of way about it, that was the point. So I think if you agree with it, if you don't agree with it, it was placed there for a reason. It was placed there to antagonize actual fans of Batman. And you know, all the people who have their Batman shrines at home can keep them there and they don't have to worry. But maybe the biggest turnoff for this film is that it looks like an Iron Man knockoff. The only thing that really changed is that instead of Tony Stark in the suit, you basically have Spider-Man. And who really wants to go see what looks like an inferior film to the one that came out 15 years ago? Not most people, because the director just outright insults people who disagree with his trailer, who disagree with the fact that he said Batman was a fascist in the film, that he put that in there. And people don't want to see that. They just don't want to see that. And the fact that you push this identity politics nonsense about Latinx, that doesn't exist. And actual Latinos do not like being called that, or do not agree with that, because you're essentially trying to change what has been a language forever, and it's already gendered. So you're trying to change something that's impossible to change. That's been around forever. So please stop trying to push this BS Latinx, because it's not working. Just stop. And stop putting the race of characters at the forefront of your marketing, and the fact that you claim to love Batman, but yet you say he's a fascist in the movie. Nobody wants to hear that, because that is not the truth of the character. It's not true to the character whatsoever. And directors in Hollywood need to stop doing this thing where they think, oh, let's rile up fans, they'll still watch our film. It's clearly not working, and it needs to stop. Thank you all for checking out this video. Really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.